Right now, Bilkis Bano case, the AIMIM chief has lambasted the Gujarat government over remission of 11 Bilkis Bano rapists. OAC says, and I quote, only BJP freed these rapists. The basic thing is that the BJP government in Gujarat was working to help those rapists. BJP MLA had also called a rapist, that one of those rapists, a cultured person. I welcome this decision by the Supreme Court. Asaduddin Owaisi there, hailing the decision coming in from the Supreme Court, but also highlighting how the BJP had pushed for releasing those rapists, saying that the BJP in Gujarat has freed those rapists. And the basic thing is BJP government in Gujarat was working to help them. One of the MLAs even called the rapist a cultured person. Says Owaisi, listen in.
After today's Supreme Court order, when the Honorable Supreme Court said that the state of Gujarat acted in complicity with the convicts, the environment was very bad in Gujarat at that time. And please see that it was the two BJP MLAs who endorsed the release of these rapists. And one of the BJP MLA called this rapist as Sanskari. Now today the Honorable Supreme Court had held that the government of Gujarat deliberately helped this rapist to get free, and it did not have the power to do so. I welcome this judgment, and I hope it acts as a precedent against all the rapists in the future. When Sri Narendra Modi talks about Nari Shakti, it's just a hollow claim. It has no relevance on the ground, because it is they who are now standing with this, with the rapist of Bilkis Bano. So the BJP government in the state of Gujarat and the BJP government in the center both have helped in releasing these rapists of Bilkis Bano, the killers of her mother and her other four women. That is why I demand that the BJP government in Gujarat and the BJP government in center headed by Shri Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister, they should speak up and apologize to Bilkis Bano.
All right, now Bilkis Bano gets a notice. In fact, what we see here is the Supreme Court there at least giving her some temporary relief after that long fight. It's a landmark verdict indeed by the Supreme Court in challenging remission of the convicts in Bilkis Bano rape case. The top court of the country has quashed remission orders of Gujarat government, has sent back all 11 Bilkis Bano rapists to jail. But 2 weeks' time have been given for them to come by and surrender. In a huge setback for the Gujarat government, Supreme Court has pulled up the government for an act of fraud. Words used by the Supreme Court while harshly pulling up the government for acting out of their jurisdiction, saying that the Gujarat government had tried to hide facts on the remission order. The court has also quashed its own order granting remission. Supreme Court had also held that Gujarat government was complicit and acted in tandem with the convicts who approached the Supreme Court with unclean hands on the Bilkis Bano remission case. Convicts have been granted a time of 2 weeks now to surrender as per the procedure of law.
It's a very good judgment which has upheld the rule of law and the faith of the people of this country, particularly the women of this country, in rule of law, in the legal system, in the courts, and that there is an assurance of justice. They have very categorically stated what is the legal analysis and reason for setting aside, quashing the remission orders and directing the convicts to return to prison within a fortnight.
I'm now going back to that time because we had gone in a delegation of Edwa to Godhra, to the camp. We met Bilkis there, and you can imagine what her condition was. I'm just reminded of that, what she was like then. That whole picture is in front of me. It's extremely saddening, the amount she has had to fight. And today, I'm still waiting to get all the details of the judgment, but it appears as if the Supreme Court has upheld the view that there was the way in which those people were, those criminals were released was not correct. And it seems that they will be sent back to jail. That's what I'm hoping. I'm just waiting to get all the details still. But certainly, it seems like a big step forward has been made today. But I mean, when you think of the enormity of the crime, when you think of the enormity of this woman's suffering, you can only salute her courage in continuing her fight. She fought for 8 years to get them convicted, and she's had to come back to the Supreme Court to, see that that conviction continues.
I think it's a very important judgment, a much delayed judgment. We've waited 1.5 years for this, but it is certainly a very welcome judgment, and it shows two important issues. One, the culpability of the state government. And I think this is a complete lesson for a government like Gujarat, which has, if you excuse me using the word, but has shamelessly supported not Bilkis, but the criminals. So this judgment is actually a big slap on the face of the Gujarat government and its version of justice.
I think it is a very, very welcome step that has been taken. It should have been taken some time back. You know, it is not only a woman's right, it is a justice problem also. And, you know, Bilkis Bano's child has been killed. There have been enough witnesses. There has been so much support, and there has been, you know, this kind of a judgment in the first instance, you know, which released them. That also was very questionable. But today, that the very fact that it is being reviewed and you know it's being looked back into, and these criminals, whoever they are, you know, we have to now learn to cut across religion, and we have to learn to cut across, any kind of social standing that one might have. Cutting across all that, you know, justice is what we are seeking. And here the justice says that, you know, those criminals who have committed these kind of crimes should not be exonerated under any circumstances.
Now, clearly, we are looking at justice, even if it's briefly, for Bilkis Bano, as the convicts are now directed to fight. If they want remission at all, then they've got to approach the Maharashtra government instead. But Bilkis Bano's family welcoming the verdict of the Supreme Court wholeheartedly, as we see celebration, bursting of crackers near Bilkis Bano's house post the verdict. India Today spoke to the family members of Bano.
बिल्किस बानो के परिवार के लोग जुड़े हैं और इस केस में जो भी गवाह थे वो भी हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं, उन्हीं से बात करेंगे। कितने खुश हैं आप, क्योंकि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो 11 दोषियों को सजा सुनाई थी और उनको जो राहत दी गई थी, ये जो राहत है उस पे निर्णय सुप्रीम कोर्ट का आ गया है। जो निर्णय गुजरात सरकार ने लिया था, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उसको पलट दिया है। क्या कहेंगे आप?
वो जो 11 दोषियों को गुजरात सरकार ने 15 अगस्त को रिहा किया था, इसके लिए हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट में गए थे। सुप्रीम कोर्ट के उम्मीद रखते हैं कि हमको न्याय मिलेगा।
अब लगता है अब न्याय एक बार फिर से आपको मिल गया है, क्योंकि आने वाले दिनों में फिर से सलाखों के पीछे उन 11 लोगों को जाना पड़ेगा।
जरूर, वो तो देश की न्याय तंत्र और सर्वोच्च अदालत को हमको भरोसा है कि हमको जरूर न्याय मिलेगा।
अच्छा, बिल्किस जी और उनका परिवार यही जो मकान है वहां पे रहता था, कहाँ हैं वो लोग, कब सामने आएंगे, क्या वो मीडिया से भी बातचीत करेंगे?
वो क्या है कि शुरू से वो डर के वजह से अलग अलग जगह पे रहते थे और पिछले 1 साल से यहाँ रहते थे, देगोड़ बाजार रहमाबाद कॉलोनी में, और अभी 10-15 दिन के यहाँ नहीं है, गुजरात बाहर है।
आप भी क्या कहेंगे, क्योंकि आप भी गवाह के तौर पे इस केस में जुड़े थे। आपके गांव में एक SRPF की एक पॉइंट भी बनाई गई थी आप लोगों की सुरक्षा के लिए, जब 11 लोग जो कैदी थे, जिन्हें गुजरात सरकार ने आरोप बाहर की तरफ लाया था, और अब जब फैसला आ गया है सुप्रीम कोर्ट का, कितनी राहत आपको भी अब फील हो रही है?
जो कोर्ट ने जो भी सुना है फैसला, वो सही है।
क्या कहेंगे, कितने दिनों में फिर से इनको सलाखों के पीछे भेजना चाहिए, क्योंकि अभी ये स्पष्टता नहीं हो पाई है?
वो तो जब कोर्ट का निर्णय आएगा तब पता चलेगा।